ng proyekto. Inabutan po namin ang flood control structure na ayon sa mga residente ay sinimulang gawin ngayong taon, 2025 lamang. Ibig sabihin po, ang pondo nito ay nasa taong 2025, hindi 2024. Sigurado kami sapagkat iba ang contract ID nito base sa DPWH billboard na inyong nakikita sa screen. Kinumpirma din po ng mga residente na walang flood control project na ginawa sa lugar noong 2024. Ang malaking tanong, ano ang riverbank protection structure na pinondohan at sinasabing completed dito? Ito po bang nakikita nating puting pader sa screen? Pader nga po yan, Mr. President. Perimeter fence ng subdivision. Mr. President, sari-saring gimmick, makapandaya lang ng milyones sa kaban ng bayan. Magtungo tayo sa susunod na barangay, Mr. President. Lula ng bangka, binagtas ng aking mga staff ang barangay Babatnin upang hanapin ang riverbank protective structure na pinondohan noong 2024. Ito ay nagkakahalaga ng 77 million pesos ulit na nakuha naman ng Darcy and Ana Builders. Mayroong flood control project na kumpirmado rin sa mga online videos na nahanap namin. Ang siste, hindi po ito ginawa noong 2024. 2018 pa po, Mr. President. Pinondohan din ito noong 2021, 2023 at 2024. Ayon sa mga residente, ang huling pagsasaayos dito ay nangyari noong 2023 na substandard din ang pagkakagawa. So, kanino napunta ang inilagak na pondo sa ilalim ng 2024 National Budget para sa proyekto na ito? Paulit-ulit ang pagpopondo kahit gawa na. Bagong style ito, Mr. President. Ilan pa kayang flood control projects ang ganito? Ang contractor nito na Darcy and Ana Builders. Nagmimistulang multo rin. Bakit kanyo? Base sa mga dokumento ng kumpanyang ito. Ito ay isang negosyo na rehistrado sa ilalim ng sole proprietorship at may address sa Cardona, Rizal. Sa pamamagitan ng simpleng pag-search sa Google Map, ay madaling makita ang gusali kung nasaan ang nasabing negosyo. Subalit, nang puntahan ng aking team ang address, ang kanilang inabutan ay gym at e-payment store sa halip na construction company. Wala na rin ang signage ng Darcy and Ana Builders sa dating nakakabit sa building. Maya-maya, ipapakita pa namin ang mga natuklasan naming proyekto na gawa o dapat ginawa ng nawawalang Darcy and Ana Builders. Sinunod din po natin ang ilang barangay sa Hagonoy, Bulacan, na hanggang ngayon ay lubog pa rin sa tubig baha, Mr. President. Gamit ulit ang sumbong sa Pangulo website, hinugot namin ang exact grade coordinates ng proyektong aming nakita para tiyakin na sakto ang lokasyon kung saan tayo napadpad. Mr. President, the first subject project was in Barangay Carillo, Hagonoy, Bulacan, supposedly completed on April 19, 2024. It was awarded to Darcy and Ana Builders and Trading for a sweeping price tag of 77.199 million pesos na naman. Mr. President, gusto po ba ninyo makita ang itsura ng isang 77.199 million pesos worth na riverbank protection structure? Tingnan po natin. Nasaan na nga ba? Ewan ko, Mr. President, dahil wala tayong makita. Kahit ano pang suyod ang gawin namin, hindi namin makita o mahagilap ang flood control project ng Darcy and Ana Builders. Hello, Darcy. Ang Ana and Ana, nasaan ang flood control? Tumawid naman tayo sa Barangay Abulalas, sa bayan pa rin ng Hagonoy. Silipin natin ang tatak Darcy and Ana Builders Flood Control Project. Sinuong ng aking team ang baha sa Barangay Abulalas, Hagonoy para hanapin ang proyektong Construction of Riverbank Protection Structure mula sa Darcy and Ana na nagkakahalaga ng 77.199 million pesos na naman. Ito po ang tumambad sa amin, Mr. President. Nakikita niyo po ba ang pagkakatayo ng flood control structure? Hindi niyo po talaga makikita, my dear colleagues. Guni-guni lang kasi ang flood control structure o riverbank protection kung saan dapat nakatayo ang Darcy and Ana project. Iba rin ang kaso sa Barangay Iba. Tinungo namin ang proyekto Riverbank Protection Structure sa Barangay Iba ng Wawaw Builders na natapos na dapat noong Oktubre 2024. Ang presyo ng proyekto, 77.199 million pesos na naman. Pagdating ng aming team sa exact coordinates, mayroong kasalukuyang tinatayong istruktura. Ang bonus, may kasama pang pumping station. Pero ang ginagawang proyekto, hindi ang Wawaw project. Sa mismong lokasyon, kung saan dapat nakatayo ang Wawaw Riverbank Protection, ang nakabalandrang contract ID ay ang ongoing project ng isang Third Star Builders Contractors para sa flood mitigation structure with pumping station and floodgate na ang presyo ay papalo sa 92.54 million pesos. Mr. President, nawawala ang Wawaw project at mukhang gusto pang pagtakpan ang ghost project na ito, kaya nagmamadaling magtayo ng bagong struktura sa eksaktong project location kung saan dapat matagal nang may flood control. Wawaw ang binisita, First Star ang dinatnan. Wawaw ang hinanap, First Star ang natagpuan. Mukhang ang modus na ito tatapalan ang ghost project ng ibang proyekto. At ang masama, na walang parang bula ang milyong-milyong gastos mula na naman sa taong bayan. Sa Barangay San Nicolas naman, iba ang forma at hulma ng ghost project. Binisita namin ang proyekto ng Wawaw Builders na ang halaga ay 77.199 million pesos na naman. Ang nasabing proyekto, sinimulan daw noong Pebrero at natapos noong Disyembre 2023. Pero sa aming pagsisiyasat, 2017 pa lamang ay mayroon ng flood control sa lokasyong tinuro kung nasaan ang Wawaw project. Makikita rin sa historical imagery ng lugar na walang nabago simula pa noong 2017. So, anong tinayo ng Wawaw Builders noong 2023? Di wala. May guni-guni na naman sa Barangay San Nicolas. Wow na wow ang Wawaw. Mr. President, makikita natin ang iisang pattern ng mga proyektong guni-guni ng Darcy and Ana at Wawaw Builders sa Barangay Carillo, Abulalas, Iba, at San Nicolas, First Engineering District ng Bulacan. Pare-parehong contract price, 77.199 million pesos. Pare-parehong riverbank protection structure, pare-parehong guni-guni. Very distinctly ghost projects. Ang mga taong nasa likod ng scheme na ito or scam na ito ang dapat ipinampupukpok sa pagbabaon ng mga sheet files. Hindi ito kababalagan, Mr. President. This is well orchestrated by an organized network of people who abuse their power. May isang grupo sa loob ng First District Engineering Office ng Bulacan na kilalang sindikato ng mga substandard at ghost projects. Ang kanilang modus, manghihiram ng lisensya sa mga suki nilang contractors. Gamit ang lisensya ng contractors, sila na ang mag-i-implement ng proyekto. O kung hindi man, magpoproseso ng mga dokumento para lumabas na completed na ang mga ghost projects. My office is willing and ready to provide the names of the members of this well-organized syndicate inside the Bulacan 1st District Engineering Office, including probable witnesses, to testify against them if and when the appropriate authorities will open a formal investigation into these morally wicked schemes to defraud our people of their hard-earned taxpayers' money. For the information of the body, inikot at siniyasat din po namin ang ilang mga proyekto sa Kabikulan, Davao Peninsula, Western Visayas at Central Mindanao. Kasalukuyang ginagawa pa ang validation ng aming findings para sa mga susunod na investigasyon. Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues, we all heard President Marcos Jr. in his rare, exasperated, confrontational tone during his fourth SONA last July 28. Pinalakpakan natin siya ng malakas nang sabihin niya sa ating harap-harapan sa plenaryo ng Batasang Pambansa, mahiya naman kayo. And rightly so, since he also said in the same SONA that he witnessed firsthand how the floodgates of corruption have swung wide open in many areas he personally inspected. He saw defective flood control projects, obviously built with substandard materials or not built at all, wasting hundreds of billions of pesos in taxpayers' money, drifted away and down the drain. And all this, Mr. President, went straight to the pockets of the insatiably greedy, so vile, so greedy, and corrupt to the core politicians, DPWH officials, and contractors, conniving among themselves, unmindful of the lives lost and the properties destroyed, all for their lust for money. This humble representation just confirmed with sordid details what President Marcos announced in the launching of the Sumbong sa Pangulo website, which greatly helped us in tracking and monitoring the status of the non-existing but fully paid flood control projects. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, we can do our part in leading the way under your leadership and the cooperation that each and every one of us in this august hall to set the example in good governance. We can start with an honest-to-goodness and fully transparent deliberation of the 2026 National Budget Measure that will truly represent the hopes and aspirations of our people for a better Philippines. Sa isang taon, wag naman sana nating marinig na mapagsabihan tayo na mga walang hiya kayo. Sa haba at lawak ng aming pagsisiyasat, may mga gustong magsalita at tumulong. District engineers na napipilitang ipa-implement ang mga binagsak na project sa kanilang distrito na hindi naman sila ang nagplano kaya hindi naisama sa National Expenditure Program. Subalit, dahil nagmula sa mga insertions ng mga tinaguriang funders sa Kongreso, mga contractors na kapit sa patalim dahil sa bulok na sistema ng talamak na lagayan, tali ang mga kamay dahil sa kanilang pakikisama na kasalalay ang kanilang hanap buhay. At higit sa lahat, mga taong bayan na nais ipaabot ang kanilang hinaing. Madami din sa mga nakausap namin ang handang pangalanan ang mga tiwaling opisyal ng gobyerno na tunay na nasa likod ng mga milagro sa flood control. Ang halos nagkakaisang tanong nila na mahirap kong saguting mag-isa. Sagot ba ninyo ang kaligtasan namin at sigurado bang tuloy-tuloy ang laban hanggang sa dulo o habang mainit lamang ang issue na ito? When few good officials or regretful men are willing to speak truth to power, they must be heard. They must be seen. They must be protected. The depth of corruption has become so overwhelming that it drowns us in our sad reality. More than flood control, what the Filipino people badly need to see is greed control. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Lacson.
Mr. President,
Majority Leader.
Mr. President, there are a number of our colleagues who wanted to make a manifestation. May I just be allowed to give a very short manifestation considering, Mr. President, the situation where I come from, Mr. President. I hope you understand.
Yes, please
With the
proceed,
indulgence of our colleagues.
Please proceed, Majority
Yeah,
Leader.
Mr. President, this will be just very short. I just wanted to put on record, Mr. President, na nakapanlulumo, nakakagalit at nakakakulo ng dugo, Mr. President, na marinig at makita right before our very eyes yung pong mga hindi ko ho kayang sabihin na malademonyong proyekto dahil sabi nga ho ni Senator Lacson, guni-guni hindi na makita. Siguro ito po yung dahilan kung bakit for the past 3 years, siguro naiintindihan na ako ni Senator Bato, ni Senator JV, the past 3 years, bakit ako nang gagalaite. 3 taon ko na po itong sinasabi, itong mga kalokohan sa flood control program. Mr. President, ginahasa po ng flood control program ng gobyerno ang aming lalawigan sa Bulacan. Nakakalungkot po, Mr. President, sapagkat pag tinignan nyo rin po itong 2025 flood control budget, Mr. President, yung binabanggit po ni Senator Ping na pare-pareho po yung amount, ganito pa rin po. Total of 14 billion sa lalawigan ng Bulacan. Mr. President, nandito po yung ilang mga mayors natin. Nandito po si Mayor Bong, si Mayor ng Balagtas, Mayor ng San Miguel, Bulacan. Nandito po sila para suportahan ang Senado, para magkaroon ng no nonsense, no secret cows, Mr. President, na investigasyon at masiguro na magkaroon ng hustisya ang aming minamahal na lalawigan. Mr. President, gusto ko lang pong i-put into the record that we thank the gentleman from Cavite, Mr. President. We have been looking forward to seeing him here in the Senate dahil alam natin, Mr. President, may mangyayari na dito sa ating ginagawang investigasyon at mapapanagot ang dapat mapanagot. And again, I appeal to the members of this august chamber to help not only our great province of Bulacan but also all provinces in the Philippines. Maraming salamat, Ginoong Pangulo. May I give the floor to our minority leader who is seeking the floor, Mr. President.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Before I recognize the Minority Leader, the Chair would also like to thank Senator Lacson for his bombastic privilege speech and congratulate him. Congratulations, Senator Lacson. Minority Leader.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. President. Aside from congratulating and commending Senator Ping Lacson, I was discussing this with him earlier. We indeed commend him because he's under the weather. He's not actually well, but he came over to deliver his privilege speech, although his doctors told him to rest and not to go to work today, but still he did. No, you see the importance of what he has to deliver. So I know for a fact that Senator Lacson has never been known to evade any interpellations, but because of health reasons, I would like to move that all the interpellations forthcoming on this privilege speech be done in our next regular session, Mr.
It will
President.
be on Tuesday. Yeah. Yes, Mr. President.
What does the Majority Leader say?
We are in full understanding, Mr. President, of our good colleague who is more than willing to entertain questions, Mr. President. We all know that. And he's more than willing to entertain questions, Mr. President, by Tuesday, Mr. President, when we resume session. Mr. President, there are a number of senators who would like to make a short manifestation. May I move that we recognize the gentleman from Tarlac, Senator Bam Aquino, Mr. President.
The gentleman from Tarlac, Senator Bam Aquino, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Unang-una po sa lahat, nais kong magpasalamat kay Senator Lacson sa kanyang presentation at alam ho natin na napakahalaga ng issue na ito na malaman ho natin kung saan napupunta yung pondo sa flood control at nakikita naman po natin na bilyon-bilyong piso na ang nawawala na dapat napupunta sa taong bayan. So Mr. President, upon the suggestion of the Minority Floor Leader, I will hold off my interpolations for the next session and instead just manifest my support and congratulations to the good gentleman from Cavite. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Aquino.
Thank you, Mr.
Leader.
President. Next to make a short manifestation is the gentleman from Palawan, Senator Erwin Tulfo. I move that he be recognized, Mr. President.
Senator Erwin Tulfo, the gentleman from Palawan, is recognized.
Mr. President, this representation fully supports Senator Ping Lacson's call to demand full accountability for the disturbing anomalies in our flood control projects. Kahapon lamang po sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee na pinamunuan ni Senator Marcoleta na siwalat ang sandamakmak na ghost flood control projects. Kawalan ng master plan at pagpabor sa ilang mga probinsya, gayong hindi naman po kasama sa listahan ng mga flood-prone areas. Nakakapanlumo dahil sa kabila ng bilyon-bilyong pondong inilaan sa flood control projects na ito, ay marami pa rin sa ating kababayan ang nalulubog sa baha. Sa DPWH pa lamang po ay meron na tayong inilaang halos 996.5 billion pesos o halos 1 trilyon, Mr. President. Ito ay mula sa GAA sa ilalim ng Flood Management Program. Hindi pa po kasama rito ang budget na inilaan sa DENR, MMDA, at iba pang mga ahensya para rin sa pagkontrol ng baha. Ulitin ko po, this is nothing less than a grand robbery of our nation. It is for this reason, Mr. President, that I also filed Senate Resolution number 31, which seeks to investigate reported abuse of flood control programs and related projects. Senate Resolution number 70, which seeks to investigate illegal construction of structures and waterways in Palawan, and Senate Bill number 769, which seeks to institutionalize Metro Manila Drainage Master Plan as a long-term strategy for drainage infrastructure development. Mr. President, harap-harapan na pong niyanakawan ang taong bayan dahil sa kakulangan ng pananagutan. Our people deserve no less than truth, transparency, and justice. Huwag na po nating hintayin na lumubog ulit ang bayan bago tayo kumilos. Let's build a Philippines that doesn't just survive the floods, but rises above it. Maraming salamat, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Tulfo, Majority Leader.
President, next to make a short manifestation is our Deputy Minority Leader, Senator Risa Ontiveros. I move that she be recognized, Mr. President.
The Deputy Minority Leader, Senator Risa Ontiveros, recognized.
Salamat po, Mr. President. Mr. President, I applaud the sponsors' courage in bringing to light these harrowing and urgent issues of large-scale corruption. Kaisa niyo po ako sa labang ito, Senator Ping. May nabasa po ako sa Facebook, Mr. President. The Philippines is not poor. We are plundered. I could not agree more. Ang Pilipinas po ay hindi isang mahirap na bansa. Biktima lang tayo ng kalat at sistematikong pagnanakaw. Dahil sa korupsyon, ng kaunti, patuloy na naghihirap ang karamihan. Sa estimasyon mismo ng gobyerno, nasa 20% o 1/5 ng kabuuang budget ng bansa ang nawawala taon-taon sa korupsyon. Katumbas po yan ng tinatansyang 1.6 trillion pesos na ninanakaw mula sa mga Pilipino kada taon. 1.6 trillion. Kahit ako po ay nahirapang maintindihan kung gaano kalaking pera yan. Chineko po, at sa 1.6 trillion pesos, pwede na tayong mamigay ng tig-1 milyong piso sa 1.6 milyon na tao. Nakakalula po. Lahat na yan habang nalulunod na ang mga karaniwang Pilipino. Nalulunod sa taas na presyo ng bilihin, sa trabahong hindi sapat ang kita, sa kalamidad at sa kawalan ng tugon at serbisyo publiko. Mayorya po ng mga Pilipino ay kumakayod ng tapat at nakikipagsapalaran ng patas. Insulto po na ang buwis na kinakaltas at dapat ginagamit para sa kanila ay inaanod lang sa baha ng korupsyon. Hirap na nga ang Pilipino, ninanakawan pa. Kung ang karaniwang Pilipino po Ang magnakaw, kulong agad at pwedeng masira na ang buhay. Pero ang pagnanakaw ng mga opisyal sa pamamagitan ng korupsyon, parti-parti lang po, parang parti na po ng buhay na tanggap ng lahat. Hindi ko po yan matatanggap. At makakaasa po si Senator Lacson sa pag-usisa sa isyung ito. Salamat po, Senator Ping. Mabuhay po kayo at pagaling po kayo ng lubos. Salamat po, Mr. President.
Maraming salamat, Senadora Ontiveros.
Yes, Mr. President, Senator Pia Cayetano is also seeking the floor. May I move that she be recognized, Mr.
The
President?
gentlelady from Taguig, Senator Pia Cayetano, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a short manifestation. Sa Tuesday pala magpapatuloy ang ating debates. Mag-i-interpellate din po tayo. I just want to join our colleagues in expressing my disgust and I am at a loss for words sa napakasamang sitwasyon na binunyag ni Senator Ping Lacson. Papasalamat tayo sa kanya na pinakita niya to and in very detailed ang kanyang presentation. Ako po ay taga Tubong Bulacan din, kaya si Senator Joel, I attest to the fact na bagyo-bagyo na lang, hindi ko sasabihin taon-taon kasi kung ilang beses tayo daanan ng bagyo, ilang beses din siya tatayo at mag-e-express ng lungkot, galit sa walang katapusan na bagyo, tapos panay ho ang punta niya dyan, na walang katapusang pagre-relief efforts, na samantalang pala itong mga relief efforts natin, hindi na pala kailangan gawin kung nagawa lang ito ng maayos. I personally am shocked that pwedeng mangyari yung gano'n na paulit-ulit lang na pinupondohan ang Ghost Project o di naman kaya paulit-ulit na binabalikan lang ang proyektong sobrang substandard. Tapos yung pala yung sabi nga ni Senator Ping, may standard na ang substandard. We owe the Filipino people better. Lahat ho tayo, we have, now that napakita ito, siguro tuloy-tuloy na ang paglalabas ng mga contractors na sangkot dyan. Hindi ho ako involved sa hindi ho ako familiar din sa budget ng DPWH, pero I am familiar with the project sa education at saka sa health. At kahit doon po, paulit-ulit naming sinasabi sa mga state universities, pati sa mga DOH officials, na pagka yung contractor hindi nakaka-deliver, huwag nyo nang ulitin, huwag nyo nang i-delist nyo na yan. Kaya yung pinakita kanina na yung pangalan ng contractor, delisted na siya, pero nabigyan pa rin ng project. Paano ba nangyayari yung mga ganon? Definitely, ibig sabihin, may kasangkot na government official, whether sa level ng lokal or sa level ng national. Kaya sa darating na mga araw na iimbestigahan pa rin ito at magkakaroon pa ho tayo ng debate, sana mas mabigyan ng liwanag because the Filipino people do not deserve this kind of public service from their officials. Thank you very much, Senator Ping Lacson, for bringing this to our attention.
Thank you, Senator Pia Cayetano, Majority Leader.
Yes, Mr. President, the gentleman from Pampanga who's also affected by flooding, Senator Kiko Pangilinan, is also seeking the floor. May I move that he be recognized, Mr. President?
Senator Kiko Pangilinan is recognized.
Maraming salamat sa ating karatig lalawigan ng Bulacan, kinatawan ng Bulacan. Sa Pampanga, totoo po yun. Itong nakaraang bagyo, matapos yung pagbabaha, 16 sa 18 mga barangay sa hometown ng aking tatang, my father, lubog. Pati ang mga bayan ng Pampanga, lubog din. At nakakagalit nga itong naging expose ni Senator Ping Lacson. We laud him for his consistency in with a fine-tooth comb binubusisi yung ating budget, yung General Appropriations Measure. Mr. President, actually, baka maaring sagutin next week pag magaling na po si Senator Lacson dito sa aking simpleng katanungan. Sa ganitong katinding trilyong pisong halaga ng pagnanakaw sa gobyerno sa ilalim ng Public Works. Ang magiging tanong ko sa Martes sa privilege speech ni Senator Lacson ay, bakit hindi pa nagre-resign yung Secretary ng Public Works? Yun lang po. At naway maisagot sana ng maayos. Kung hindi man ni Senator Lacson, baka dapat yung Secretary of Public Works ang sumagot. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Senator Pangilinan.
Mr.
Majority
President, next to give her manifestation is the distinguished lady from Antique, Senator Lauren Legarda. I move that she be recognized, Mr. President.
Leader. The gentle lady from Antique is recognized, Senator Legarda.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise today in support of the privileged speech of our esteemed colleague, Senator Ping Lacson, and I echo his outrage at the corruption that continues to stain our flood control programs and many other public projects. Billions and possibly trillions of pesos are lost. Substandard works are delivered, and yet year after year the floods still come, washing away homes, dreams, and lives. That is why we support this long-term approaches, and there is a proposed tapat na paglilingkod pending measure which does not only punish wrongdoing but seeks to prevent it by embedding strategies that promote integrity in planning, budgeting, and service delivery, by protecting whistleblowers, by making agencies map their own corruption risks, and by teaching integrity as early as our schools. This is a long manifestation, Mr. President. May I request that the whole manifestation of 6 pages be inserted into the record. I would like to commend our esteemed colleague despite his being under the weather. And yes, we must investigate, we must prosecute, but alongside we must also nurture a culture of tapat na paglilingkod so that the next generation will not even think twice about choosing honesty. We congratulate Senator Ping Lacson. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Legarda.
Mr. Pre-
Majority Leader.
Mr. President, next to give his manifestation is the gentleman from Bukidnon, our former Senate President, Mig Zubiri. I move that he be recognized, Mr.
The
President.
gentleman from Bukidnon is recognized, Senator Zubiri.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you to the Majority Leader. Mr. President, nakakalula talaga yung speech ng ating kasamahan na si Senator Lacson. I'd like to congratulate him for his very thorough investigation of the case. Biro mo, may isang bayan, Mr. President, na nakatanggap ng 3.2 billion worth of projects, particularly flood control in Oriental Mindoro. Kinumpute ko po yan, Mr. President, at 3 million lang per classroom. That is 1,066 classrooms. Baka yung backlog ng buong Mindoro na fund na po sa DepEd kung hindi bigay po natin itong pondo para sa classroom building program at wala na pong backlog ang Mindoro, Oriental Mindoro. Kung dyan na lang po natin na ilagay kaysa sa mga flood control projects na nakikita naman po natin substandard, nagko-collapse at mukhang money-making racket lamang po, Mr. President. Mr. President, I laud our distinguished colleague, Senator Lacson, for this speech, but I'm hoping that he can give a part 2. Kasi po, kulang pa po yun. For example, kung saan pong home video ng aking nanay sa Bicol, marami din pong ghost project sa Bicol, maraming palpak na project sa Bicol, lalo na sa home province of my mother in Albay. I was there last year distributing rice to my kababayans in Libon, where my mom is from, and we also delivered to the provincial capital. At that time, yung tanong po ng mga reporters sa akin, anong maitutulong nyo sa mga problema naming baha dito sa Bicol? At alam ko na po nung panahon pa na yun na napakalaki na ang natatanggap nila pero wala pa rin nangyayari. So sana may part 2 po niyan at may labas din po natin yung mga kapalpakan nito mga contractors also in the Bicol region and other parts of the Philippines where we can see these discrepancies, Mr. President. So once again, maraming salamat kay Senator Lacson, but we're still hoping that the Blue Ribbon Committee can go down even further in naming the proponents of these projects. Kailangan natin malaman. Yung mahirap po kasi, hindi ko po alam sa House kung may lalabas ba nila yung proponents. Dito sa Senado, ilabas natin ang proponents ng mga projects na to. Pati down sa House, sana mailabas din nila. And I laud Congressman Toby Chanco for trying to come out with that list of proponents in the House. I congratulate him as well and I wish him luck. Maraming salamat, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Zubiri. Majority Leader.
Yes, Mr. President, I would just like to join the statements made by our former Senate President, Senator Migs Zubiri. Mr. President, ilalagay ko muli sa talaan ng bulwagang ito. Noong 2023, 1.079 billion pesos a day ang budget ng DPWH alone. 2024, 1.342 billion pesos a day ang budget ng DPWH alone. Ngayong taon po na ito, 2025, 1.37 billion a day ang budget ng DPWH. Ngayon po, dun sa National Expenditure Program na pinrepresenta sa atin ngayon ng 2026, 1.08 billion pesos a day ang budget ng, again, Mr. President, DPWH alone. Mr. President, bago ko po isuspend ang konsiderasyon ng privilege speech ni Senator Ping Lacson, muli pinapasalamatan po natin siya at yung pong binabanggit niya na pare-parehong amount na sa ibang probinsya, ganun din po yung nakita namin doon sa probinsya ng Bulacan for this year. And maikling ikwento ko lang, Mr. President, alam nyo yung pinakikita doon sa Hagunoy, yun po yung taon-taon na pinupuntahan natin, halos every time na merong bagyo at nakikita po natin doon, Ginoong Pangulo, yung mga kababayan ko po doon sa Hagunoy at Senate President Pro Temp, I'm sure you're very much aware of Hagunoy dahil marami po kayong kaibigan doon. Tinatali po nila, Mr. President, yung kanilang sasakyan. Fortuner man yan o pick-up, itatali po nila, Mr. President, doon po sa poste at matutulog sila, yung sasakyan po nila, umaalon-alon, Mr. President. Gigising po sila ng umaga at ito, natural na buhay ng mga kababayan ko doon. Gigising po sila ng umaga, lulusong sa baha, magkakape, pagkatapos magkape, maliligo, tapos pupunta ho ng Maynila para magtrabaho, alas 3, alas 4 ng umaga, babalik ho, galing sa trabaho, ganun na naman, Mr. President. Tapos mababalitaan po nila itong mga nangyayaring guni-guni projects at mga palpak na proyekto. Mr. President, I think nasa atin po na may magagawa po tayo bilang Senado ng Republika ng Pilipinas. I pray, Mr. President, huwag nating biguin yung ating mga kababayan dahil sa totoo lang, Mr. President, 3 years ago, binanggit ko na po dito sa bulwagan na ito na yung mga kababayan po namin, wala nang inaasahan eh. In fact, kahit pagkausapin nyo po, sasabihin sa inyo, wala na, hindi nyo naman magagawa yan. So sana po, malaking challenge po sa atin, lalo na dito sa Senado, itong problemang ito. Mr. President, may pahabol po ang ating mga kasamahan. We recognize Senator Bongo and then afterwards, Senator Robin Hood Padilla, who wanted to make a manifestation as well, Mr. President. Please.
Senator Bongo is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I join Senator Ping Lacson in condemning the irregularities in the allocation and implementation of flood control projects. Mr. President, as manifested yesterday in the Blue Ribbon hearing, hindi po katanggap-tanggap na habang tumataas ang budget para sa flood control, pataas rin ang pataas ang pagbaha. Sabi ko nga kahapon, bakit hindi nyo lang po ilaan ang budget para sa health katulad sa pag-upgrade ng mga hospital ng PGH na madalas rin pong binabaha. Nakita natin sa video kahapon o sa picture na binabaha. Dapat doon na lang po paglaanan ng pondo at sa DPWH na meron po silang 880 billion kumpara po sa health budget. More than 1/3 lang po ang pondo ng health kumpara sa DPWH. Bakit hindi na lang po ilaan ng pondo para sa ating mga healthcare workers na marami pa pong babayaran ang health emergency allowances? Ano bang mas importante sa inyo? Serbisyo na pinaghirapan, services rendered, o mga proyektong ginagawang gatasan? Natanong ko nga ito kanina sa health hearing sa mga unprogrammed appropriations, baka pwede nyo naman pong unahin na lang. Pondohan itong mga HEA na obligasyon po ng ating gobyerno. In light of recent events, President Marcos Jr. has launched an investigation on the implementation of flood control projects in the past years. Sa mga inireport ng Pangulo, malinaw na may anomalya dito, malinaw na may systematic na ang modus dito mula sa pag-identify ng mga proyekto hanggang sa pagpondo ng mga ito at pag-implementa ng mga proyekto. Mr. President, sa totoo lang po, noon pa lang, 2023, August 9, hiningi na natin sa DPWH ang kanilang accomplishment report, master plan at strategic prioritization sa kanilang mga flood control projects. During the hearing, tinanong ko mismo kay Secretary Bonoan na bakit may mga flood control na pinaglagyan ng proyekto na wala namang tao, wala namang kinokontrol o pinoprotektahang tao, wala namang kinokontrol na baha. Pero doon po nakalagay sa mga liblib na lugar. That was August of 2023. Mr. President, allow me also to take this opportunity to clarify and answer malicious reports, no? Kasi ako po, wala pa ako sa mundong ito, yung aking pamilya may negosyo na po. And the insinuation that I was personally involved and had benefited in some projects, Mr. President, these are all recycled and malicious accusations. Noong 2018 pa po ito, nabalik na naman ng 2021 habang papunta po sa eleksyon. Ulitin ko po, for the record, wala po ako sa mundong ito. Meron na po negosyo ang aking pamilya, pero ni minsan po, ni piso, hindi nakinabang ang aking pamilya sa pagiging taong gobyerno ko. In fact, hindi po nakakalapit ang aking mga kamag-anak, kahit na nasa Malacanang kami noon, hindi po sila nakakalapit. At isang naging kondisyon ko noon, Mayor pa po si former President, former Mayor Duterte, na kung lalapit po ang aking kamag-anak, ay ako po ang magre-resign sa kanya. I observed delikadesa at yun lang po ang puhunan ko sa mundong ito, ang aking pangalan. At alam nyo naman po, uso po yung name dropping. Yung ibang mga kamag-anak natin, yun pa ang nagpapa-VIP, yun pa ang nagpapa-importante. At sa tinatagal-tagal ko na pong paninilbihan sa gobyerno, isa lang po ang may pagmamalaki ko. I observe delikadesa, yan po ang ginagawa namin noon pa hanggang ngayon. I am a senator, a legislator, wala po akong kinalaman sa implementasyon ng kahit na anong proyekto, lalong-lalo na po sa pag-identify at na makikinabang po ang aking pamilya. At ngayon, I also co-authored Senate Bill number 783. Ang panukalang ito ay layong ipagbawal na pumasok sa anumang kontrata ng gobyerno mula sa national level hanggang sa LGU level. Ang mga kamag-anak ng government officials hanggang sa 4th civil degree of consanguinity and affinity ay dapat po bawal po. Mr. President, sa laki po ng pondong pinag-usapan dito, hindi po sapat ang audit o reporting sa mga ginagawang flood control projects. Hindi sapat ang explanation mula sa mga kontraktor o DPWH. Dapat po'y merong managot dito at dapat po'y maging accountable po sila. Dapat may managot po sa perwisyong patuloy na dulot ng pagbaha na dapat sana noon pa nasolusyonan. Maraming salamat po, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Bongo. Majority Leader.
Yes, Mr. President. Mr. President, may I move that we suspend consideration of the privileged speech of Senator Ping Lacson? So moved, Mr. President.
Is there any objection? There being none, the motion is approved.
Mr. President, at this juncture, I move that we proceed with the additional reference of business.
Mr. Secretary, please read the additional reference of business.
Additional reference of business bills on first reading, Senate number 751, recognizing motorcycles as public utility, vehicles amending RA 4136, the Land Transportation and Traffic Code as amended, and RA 7160, the Local Government Code of 1991 as amended, and for other purposes, Senator Marcos.
Public Services and Local Government.
Good afternoon. Interrupting the Senate plenary to bring you what's left of our time for StoryCon. I'm Regina Lay, and with me, as always, StoryCon's resident political pundit, Ronald Llamas, and the Philippine Star Editor-in-Chief, Ami Pamintuan. Okay, so we are coming off a bombshell testimony by Senator Ping Lacson, who gave a privileged speech at the Senate today. Parang ang daming there were so many things to analyze and to break down, chief of which is yung breakdown ng corruption in flood control projects. So Senator Ping sent his teams to inspect a number of flood control projects in Bulacan, a few barangays in Bulacan, meron din sa La Union, meron din sa Pampanga. One of the starkest findings from today is yung breakdown. Sabi niya, within the pie for a flood control project, there's several layers of illegal and breakdown, kickbacks, cuts for corruption purposes. So, for instance, 8 to 10% of that goes to the district engineer. 2 to 3% goes to what's known as receta, which is the kickback to the district engineering office. 5 to 6% goes to the bids and awards committee. 0.5% to 1% goes to the commission on audit. 5 to 6% is what's known as passing through or royalty for the politician that controls the district where the project will be. 20 to 25% goes to the funder or the project proponent, which is the politician who manages to find the funding or the budget for the so-called project. So ito yung, if you add it all up, that comes up to almost 48%, if I'm not mistaken. Again, this is separate pa from the allowable deductions like 5% VAT, 2% withholding tax, 1% bonds and insurance, and 1% materials testing. So if you add it all up, ang natitira na lang for actual implementation is at best, 40% of the project cost. At best, right. Depende pa yan. I mean, of course, what Senator Ping was pointing out today was the massive and unchecked greed by these politicians and contractors, because what he was pointing at is nag-iiba pa yung numbers na to, right? These are just a sample breakdown of where the kickbacks and the money goes. Okay, Gates of Corruption is the title of his presentation today, aptly. Meron pa mga interesting points, no? He named the First District Engineering Office people from Bulacan. Bulacan is according to Senator Ping, a hotbed of corruption in the flood control projects. We've been seeing stories, referencing that in the days leading up to today. For instance, this morning, President Marcos himself went to Baliwag, Bulacan, and inspected a ghost project. There was supposed to be a 200-meter embankment na wala naman doon, and it cost 55 million. And the Malacanang produced receipts from the DPWH showing that they paid the contractor. Ayan, we're looking at the pictures of President Marcos going to the ghost project. That was just this morning. And coming back to Senator Ping Lacson, in his privilege speech, which just ended a few minutes ago, he said that ang mga corrupt na officials dyan include the district engineer by the name of Henry Alcantara and the assistant district engineer by the name of Bryce Hernandez. Both, we believe, have been relieved or suspended at this point kasi si DPWH Secretary Manny Bonon suspended the entire First District Engineering Office of Bulacan, no? After all of these started coming to light. Senator Ping also said one of them was the blind item on Philippine Star a few days ago pertaining to an ex-DE, ex-district engineer that lost 150 million pesos at the casinos one night. Parang,
Ang hirap dali nun, no? 150 million.
In that kind of money, parang it's hard to imagine. How do you, I mean, in the first place, as a government official, you're not allowed inside the casinos, right? In the second place, if that for me is so hard to fathom, like to lose 150 million pesos in one night. Ito nga yung dalawa that Senator Ping named.
Ang tanong, is that the exception or the norm?
Yun na nga. Because he says this is happening all over the country in many other provinces and districts and towns and barangays. Hindi pa sila tapos sa investigation actually. They are still ongoing.
Yes.
Ito pa lang yung mga nahanap nila as of today. So he named towns. So ito yung sa Bulacan. There's also Arayat in Pampanga. There was also, sa Arayat, Pampanga, where it was found that over 274 million pesos in questionable contracts went to one contractor by the name of Ed Marie. Ed Marie sa Pampanga yan, na which we also know is very much prone to flooding still. Meron na din naman, Senator Ping said, yung single contractor for 7 packages wherein they price the contracts exactly the same amount. Different projects, different specs, pero exactly the same amount yung prices. Just for a single contractor.
Nakakatuwa lang na maraming mga senador ang nag-manifest ng kanilang outrage, sense of outrage dito sa mga ganitong klaseng gawi. Ang nag-worry lang ako, baka lalong mabinat si Senator Ping Lacson.
Oo nga, he was sick pala, no? Tapos pero he forced himself to come to the Senate today to deliver his privileged speech.
At nung narinig niya yung sense of outrage ng kanyang mga colleagues, baka mabinat siya.
But anyways, they will get a chance to question him again on Tuesday next week, which is going to be part 2 of this investigation at the Senate. Also, big bombshell today, si Senator Ping named Congressman Arnan Panaligan as the funder or the project proponent of two flood control projects. Or sorry, I don't know if it's 2, pero he named 2 towns, which is Nauhan and Baco. Sa Nauhan, Senator Ping was questioning 3.7 billion pesos in flood control projects. Sa Baco naman, it's 807 million pesos in projects that Senator Ping was questioning. What's interesting here is, of course, Oriental Mindoro has been in the news lately because of the exact same issues. Merong dike that was built just 6 months ago na nag-collapse na. And then secondly, what's interesting here is Congressman Panaligan is on the House prosecution panel. So that's a pretty big arrow that Senator Ping shot, because this is a ranking member of the House that he's brought into the conversation. We're gonna try to get Congressman Panaligan's response to this shortly. Aguila yung what do you call it? The nickname that they use on all the posters and the tarpaulins on the project, the flood control projects there in Oriental Mindoro. Meron din yung sa unprogrammed funds nakuha. I think that's part of the issue that Senator Ping took with Congressman Panaligan. Sabi niya, napakalakas naman. How did he manage to get the money? Because with unprogrammed funds, it's very, very difficult to get the money released kasi it's only based on excess revenues if the government has them.
At in-emphasize naman ni Ping na ito ay simula pa lang. Ibig sabihin, marami pang susunod.
Correct. Okay, actually, speaking of, we now have Congressman Panaligan on the line with us. Congressman, can you hear me okay?
Yes, good afternoon. No? Magandang hapon sa iyo, kay Ronald at kay Regina.
Hi, good afternoon, Congressman.
Good afternoon.
I'm sure you saw the senator's privileged speech. I'm sure you saw that you were named. Can I have your reaction, please?
Well, nakakalungkot naman at tayo ay natawid sa speech na yon na hindi tayo nabigyan ng pagkakataon na makakuha yung ating side, ano? Pero yung mga gusto ko ipaliwanag na totoo na may mga flood control projects sa aking distrito sa Oriental Mindoro. Maraming flood control project starting in 2023 hanggang ngayong taong ito. Although yung taong ito hindi pa tapos, ano? Pangalawa, gusto ko rin bigyan diin ng Oriental Mindoro ay flood-prone province, kasama po ang Oriental Mindoro to sa top 10 provinces na sinabi ng ating Pangulo ay flood-prone. Ano? Di rin kakamali number 8 and number 9. Pero wala tayo doon sa listahan ng mga probinsya na maraming flood control projects. Ano? Ganoon pa man, totoo ito, merong dumating na malalaking amount na flood control projects starting 2023. Pero lahat pong yan ay ang DPWH ang nag-identify. Ang DPWH ang nagplano, gumawa ng program of works. Ang DPWH din ang nag-bid at nag-award sa contractors ng mga proyektong yan. Ano? Specifically, ang regional office ng DPWH. At wala tayong say doon. Ang congressman walang say sa paggawa ng program of works, sa pag-design, at sa pag-award niyan. Unfortunately nga, marami doon ay nasira nung manakarang bagyo. Pero noong pang July 2025, ako'y sumunod na kay Secretary Bonoan na inire-report ko sa kanila yung mga sirang yan at hinihiling ko sa kanila na kanilang ayusin ang structural design at implementation para matiyak na matibay ang kanilang gawa. So hindi po tayo nagkulang dyan sa pagtawag sa atensyon ng DPWH. Nireport ko sa kanila yan noong pang 2024 na nasira ang ilang proyekto nila dyan sa bayan ng Dauhan.
Congressman, there was a slide that Senator Ping showed showing that 3.7 billion pesos went to Nauhan for flood control projects. Sa Baco naman, 807 million pesos. And in the same slide, he identified you as the funder or the project proponent. He said these were funded by his office. Are you now denying that?
Hindi po tayong proponent dyan. Sabi ko nga, ang proseso kasi sa budgeting, ay yung National Expenditure Program or NEP nanggagaling sa Executive Department. Pag dumating sa Kongreso para talakayin, nakalagay na po doon ang mga national flood control projects.
Correct. Pero
po dyan. Na-identify na yan.
We also know...
So hindi po tayo nag-propose dyan. Oo, hindi tayo nag-propose dyan. Ngayon, tutuusin, pwedeng tawagin congressional funding kasi nga, ang NEP naman ay ina-aproba ng Kongreso. Kaya parang pwedeng angkiling nga na yan ay Congress ang nagpondo, no? Hello?
Yes, go ahead,
Hello?
Congressman.
Pwedeng ang masabi, pwedeng magawa ng conclusion na Congress ang nagpondo kasi nga ang Congress ang nag-approve ng General Appropriations Act or GAA. Pero ang gumawa ng GAA, pag National Flood Control Project, ay ang DPWH.
Yes, I understand that.
Hindi po ang ating
I understand
tanggapan.
that, Congressman, but as we know by now as well,
Oo.
yung mga insertions nangyayari din po sa Congress, right? We just don't know. The only question at this point is we don't know who asked for what. So what I'm trying to find out
Okay.
is, did you ask for that money for flood control projects or not?
Yung insertion, I didn't ask for that. Hindi po natin alam yung nangyayari sa insertion. Sa PICE, kasi yung po sa PICE nangyayari. If you're aware of that issue na merong BICAM, small committee pa, hindi po ako member ng BICAM, hindi ako member ng small committee, kaya hindi natin alam ang nangyayari dyan. Nakakagulat nga na dumarating na lamang, pagtapos ng GAA, nandun na yung mga additional projects pa, bukod sa nakalagay sa NEP. Pero lahat po yan ay nakalista na ng galing sa DPWH. Sila po nag-identify ng mga projects na yan.
So, Congressman, ang sinasabi nyo...
Yung nasa NEP.
So, Congressman, sinasabi nyo, lahat ng mga problema dyan ay dapat ibato sa DPWH.
Yes, kasi sila ang implementor. Sila nagplano, sila implementor. And as I told you, nung July 2024, I wrote Secretary Bonoan reporting sa kanila na may mga nasira dyan sa bayan ng Nauhan. Kasi nga, sila nag-implement yan. So lahat yan, maring tama ang design pero mali ang implementation. Or hindi tama ang design, hindi rin tama ang implementation. Kaya I hope na talaga dapat imbestigahan yan. Imbestigahan nila ang bagay na yan.
At ang sinasabi nyo, Kong, walang kahit anong coordination sa inyo ang DPWH in terms of funding, in terms of feasibility study, in terms of oversight sa mga projects na yan sa inyong distrito?
Wala po. Diyan ay nasa GAA na yan. Nasa NEP na yan. Pag dumating sa amin yung NEP, nandun na, nakalagay na. In fact, may isang pagkakataon nga, napapansin ko masyadong marami yung project sa Nauhan. Sabi ko baka pwedeng ilipat doon sa ibang bayan na walang allocation, ano? Pero sabi ng region, ay hindi na pwedeng ilipat yan kasi nandiyan na yan, nakaset na yan. Hindi na pwedeng i-realign yan ng congressman. So yun po ang katotohanan doon, ang identification talaga ng flood control projects ay nasa DPWH. Nasa kanila rin po ang implementation.
Congressman, pasensya na. That's a little bit hard to believe that you don't know anything about the flood control projects in your district. Di ba matagal ng flood prone ang Oriental Mindoro?
Yes, no. Hindi ko man sinabing hindi ko alam.
And
Alam
okay.
ko yan kasi nasa net.
Okay,
Nakikita
yes.
ko sa net yan.
So
Oo.
are you,
Kaya alam ko na aware na kami.
Okay, were
Pero
you aware?
implementation yan, ang planning implementation ay nasa DPWH.
But were you aware that there was massive corruption in these flood control projects?
Yan ang hindi ko masasabi. Kasi nga, hindi naman yan na nabidding sa district office sa amin. Lahat ng yan ay binid sa regional office. Kaya siguro kung tayo desentro sa investigasyon, dapat doon natin tingnan sa regional office. Kasi sila nag-award, sila rin ang sila nagpabid, sila nag-award sa contractor. Supposedly, dapat na-inspectan nila yan bago nila binayaran yung contractor.
Congressman?
Ang pera, siyempre, nasa kanila. Release ng DBM ang pera sa regional office. Hindi po pwede mag-release ang DBM sa Office of the Congressman ng anumang alokasyon.
Congressman,
Lagi pong sa agency implementor, lagi sa implementing agency ang release ng pondo.
Congressman, was there ever a time na pinimbestigahan nyo itong mga possible anomalies na ito sa inyong distrito? Na sabi nyo nga, ang may kagagawan ay DPWH. Napaimbestigahan nyo ba yan or nailabas nyo sa isang privileged speech while you were the congressman of that district?
Ang aking ginawang action dyan ay sinulatan ko, I called your attention regarding that matter through a letter kay Secretary Bonoan at sa mga hearing din, in one of the hearings, ay biniring up ko rin sa kanila yan. At kahit hindi sa hearing, I called the regional director to inform them na may mga nasirang portion, may nasirang bahagi. Ngayon, itong huling nasira, itong last July yun ay very recent lang, kaya ngayon lang lumabas ang issue na yan, kaya yun ngayon ang subject of investigation.
We're also getting reports that there are posters, big posters in Oriental Mindoro that bannering the flood control project, saying that they were funded by your office. Can you confirm that?
Ang ginagawa kasi ng DPWH, pag meron silang mga in-implement na project sa distrito ng mga congressman, ay una-una, bawal namang ilagay ang pangalan ng congressman, bawal yun.
Correct.
Pero nilalagay lang yata yun ay congressional funding, parang ganon, or congressional project. Technically, congressional funding nga yun, kasi nga ang GAA naman talaga ay inaaproba ng Kongreso. Nilalagay yun ng DPWH, siguro out of courtesy, yun nga, hindi naman pala tama yung ganun, kaya tayo na nag-link doon. Pero normally, ginagawa yun ng DPWH, kahit pondo nila, kahit sila nag-implement ng proyekto, maybe, out of gusto nilang ilagay ang identify ang congressman, kaya nilalagay nila ng congressional project or congressional funding.
And these, sir, I'm talking about ones that actually identify you, funded by your office.
Please,
Are there any out there?
Alin yun? Any?
Yung nakasulat yung funded by Congressman Arnan
Office.
Panaligan or funded
wala
by
tayong-
Congressman Panaligan's office.
Sa aking pagkakaalam, walang ganon kasi bawal maglagay ng pangalan ng politiko sa any government project. Ang nakalagay lang, sa pagkakaalam ko, inilalagay nila ay congressional project. Congressional project yun. Or congressional funding.
So-
Technically naman talaga, congressional funding kasi nga ay inaproba ng Kongreso ang GAA.
Right.
So,
Wait, sorry. What you're saying is, kung meron man posters out there or tarpaulins that show your face and your name, hindi din kayo yon. That's also DPWH who put that up?
Yeah, definitely kasi wala akong name at wala rin akong face doon. Ang nakalagay lang marahil ay congressional funding or congressional project. But hindi po tayo nagkapalagay ng pangalan at muka. That
So-
I can say.
So, Congressman, categorically ay sinasabi nyo ay lahat ng mga flood control projects sa inyong distrito ay hindi nanggaling sa insertion nyo, kung hindi originally nanggaling sa NEP. ng Malacanang, ng Presidente. Lahat yan.
Yes, to the best of my knowledge, ang malaking amount ng flood control projects ay nasa NEP na. Dumating sa amin sa NEP. Since na ako naging congressman, 2023, naka-identify na roon, hindi namin pwedeng baguhin yon. Dahil pwedeng i-realign. Kasi identified na ng DPWH na yun ay nasa NEP na, hindi namin pwedeng galawin yon. Ngayon, as to insertion, ay check ko, maaaring may insertion na nangyari sa BICAM at small committee na hindi naman ako member. No? Nakikita ko na rin kung sa GAA ay merong nakikita ko na wala naman doon sa original na NEP na additional project, for example, flood control, pero wala doon sa original na NEP. So, paano yung napapasok? Maring sa BICAM or sa small committee na hindi naman ako miyembro nun.
Pero Kong, paano mangyayari na may insertion sa small committee at saka sa BICAM ang hindi
without you
na-coordinate
knowing.
sa inyo
Oo.
o hindi nyo alam na
Wala.
sa
Oo.
distrito nyo
Walang
babagsak?
coordination sa atin yan.
Oo.
Oo, walang coordination sa atin yan. Kaya nga, nakikita lang natin sa paglabas yung final, yung GA signed by the President, meron pang dagdag, lumalaki yung left natin, hindi na tayo, sa aking experience, hindi ako na-inform. Hindi namin alam yan. Dati na lang sa GA yan. So, so yun siguro ang dapat nating tuklasin, alamin. Paano nangyayari yun?
Honestly, I don't know what to do with that answer because parang you're making it sound like you're as clueless as us, Congressman. Because if you didn't ask for that insertion or that funding, bakit naman mapupunta sa Oriental Mindoro, for instance?
Well, hindi natin masabi nga, pero kasi nga ang ginagawa ng DPWH dyan, tinitingnan na rin siguro yung mga flood-prone provinces na pwedeng lagyan ng ganyang flood control projects, I'm sure yun ang kanila nagiging parang basis dyan, na nakita siguro nila sa Oriental Mindoro ay maraming flood prone. Tapos sa totoo lang, in the past years, wala pang malalaking flood control projects na na-implement ang highway sa Oriental Mindoro. Kaya siguro sabi nila, dito dapat ang lagyan natin ng proyekto.
Right. Okay.
Pero kung nangyari yan sa BICAM o sa small committee, walang DPWH doon. Either senators or congressmen ang nandun. Or
Actually, no. In fact, sa small committee, it's just the congressman.
Representative yun ng Congress, yung nandun. Kung BICAM, no? Kung
totoo yun, pero
small
actually,
committee,
hindi
Congress.
po natin alam. Hindi natin alam ang nangyayari sa BICAM. Because hindi nga tayo naging member nun. Ever since, hindi naman tayo naging member, hindi rin tayo nag-aspire. Pero we don't know. Maybe the executive departments, the executive agencies, like highways, nag-submit pa rin ng additional request. Naaring nangyayari yan. Let's say ang highways, sasabihin, ito, patagtag nito. So, sa BICAM nangyayari yon na hindi na alam normally, hindi na alam ng district congressman.
I want to go back to the slide we were showing, Congressman. If we could just backtrack 2 slides. The one that titled Unprogrammed Funds. So sabi ni Senator Ping, may dalawang barangay. One is Barangay Burbuli and the other is Barangay San Jose. In Barangay Burbuli, about 94.87 million pesos worth of contracts were given to just one contractor named Silver Wolves. Sa Barangay San Jose naman, it went to Raymond Builders to the tune of 231 pesos, 231.45 million pesos. Now, these are questionable because they came from unprogrammed funds. And as we all know, it's very difficult to get money if it's unprogrammed, meaning the government can only take it if there was excess revenue. And as we all know, hirap na nga tayo to craft the budget with the little that we have. So, how do you explain this?
Definitely, yung unprogrammed funds, yung isa pa rin yun na maybe that is something that is lacking in transparency, yung unprogrammed funds. Hindi rin po office ng congressman ang may kinalalaman dyan sa mga unprogrammed funds na yan. I would like to believe na sa DPWH na yan at saka sa DPM, doon sila marahil nagkaroon ng usapan para marinisan sila. totoo yun, sinabi nyo that unprogrammed funds, practically, malabo yan. Malabo yan ay ma-release kasi yan ay contingent sa additional revenues. No? So, kung merong na charge sa unprogrammed funds, yan po ay ang makakasagot ay ang DBM at ang DPWH.
So, for the record, again, this slide that we're showing right now, you're telling me that you know nothing about this either.
Yes, unprogrammed funds. I can tell you, honesty, na hindi natin alam ang nangyayari sa unprogrammed funds, kung paano yung release, paano yan na napapalabas. I think, ang makakasagot niyan ay ang DPWH at saka ang DBM.
Sir, Congress holds the
Kasi yan
power
po
of
ay-
the purse. How
Yes.
do you not know how unprogrammed funds are released?
Ganito ay kasi alam mo, yung power of the purse, totoo lang, in reality, hindi naman po yan ang nangyayari. Dahil nga, mas nasusunod, no? I hate to say this, pero para bang limitado nga, ang power ng Congress dyan. Supposedly, kami nag-approve ng budget, but remember, yung NEP ay nanggagaling sa Executive Department. And as far as the public works projects are concerned, ang DPWH ang nag-identify na ng national projects.
So,
Ang
Congressman,
amin lamang pwedeng identify yung local projects na tinatawag, yung local infrastructure projects. Ano yun? Yun yung mga barangay hall, barangay health centers. Yun lamang ang talagang may say ang congressman sa identification.
So, Congressman, ang sinasabi nyo ay mali yung sinabi ng Presidente na yung do sa previous GAA para sa 2025 na nag-react siya ng gusto at originally ay hindi niya pinirmahan, ay yung mga unprogrammed funds doon ay galing mismo sa executive. Dahil ang narinig ko kasi sa Presidente, kaya niya kinat yung unprogrammed funds, ay sinasabi niya ay nanggaling yon sa mga politicians, specifically sa House at saka sa Senate. Ang sinasabi nyo ay hindi totoo yon.
Well, di ba sinabing mali ang Pangulo, Yung isang bagay na dapat ma-identify, ano ba yung mystery na unprogrammed funds na yan? For example, ngayon, dumating sa amin yung GAA, may nakalagay na rin unprogrammed funds. Dumating na sa amin yung NEP, At nag-umpisa ng aming hearing dyan nung Monday. Meron doon nakalagay na unprogrammed funds na. Kaya hindi natin alam. Kaya as far as we are concerned, hindi sa amin ang galing unprogrammed funds. Kaya, yung bagay rin siguro, ay dapat talaga tuklasin. I agree with you, with everybody, na maybe we should do away now with unprogrammed funds. We should have a more transparent BICAM deliberation at wala nang insertion dapat. Pag-alis ng GAA, ng bill, hindi pa GAA yun. Pag-alis nung General Appropriations Bill sa Congress, dapat yun na yun. Yun na yun. Kaya yung unprogrammed funds, I agree, is something that should also be looked into para hindi maabuso at hindi magulat ang ating mga kababayan at even ang mga ilang mga mababatas.
There is another slide from Senator Ping's presentation today. Congressman, 1.9 billion pesos went to 8 flood control projects in Barangay Mulawin, Nauhan, Oriental, Mindoro. I think we have that slide, we'll try to bring it up. If you look at the breakdown, 8 projects and projects 1 to 6 are similar. It's construction of a road dike along the Bukayao River. Item 7 is construction of coastal road, and so is item 8, construction of coastal road, also in Nauhan. Can you talk me through these projects? I mean, gano'n ba talaga karaming pera kailangan for Barangay Nauhan? Barangay Mulawin in Nauhan?
Actually, maybe ang DPWH can explain it better yung RD, pero yung Nauhan kasi is one of the most flood-prone towns sa Oriental Mindoro at yung river na yan ay napakahabang river yan. According sa DPWH, ay 300 kilometers ang dapat gawin sa mga ilog na yan, kasi yung ilog na yan talagang napakahaba at tumatay niya sa maraming barangay at maraming bayan, ang according sa regional director nung siya kausap ko, 300 kilometers ang kailangan gawin. Ang mga malaking pontong yan ay siguro wala pa yung 100 kilometers na nagagawa. So mahaba talaga yan. Mahaba yan. Maybe ang RD should explain that kasi may technical ko niya, may technical na, ano? But I will also get the data para masuri natin, mag-examine talaga natin. Mahaba po ang ilog na yan. Kasi, at saka malaking pera talaga ang kailangan dyan.
So it's not that surprising that there are so many of these segments being built, the dike.
Definitely. Ang haba, if we can only go there, I can show you na napakahaba ng river na yan at saka both sides. Kaya dapat talaga ay lagyan ng malaking pondo.
Okay. Now,
Kaya lamang, we should really insist na talagang yung standard ay very strict.
do you know any of the contractors that Senator Ping name dropped today? Silver Wolves and Raymond Builders. Do you know of them? Do you have any connections to them? Have you met them?
Wala tayong connection dyan. I can say, wala tayong connection dyan. Narinig natin ang pangalan nila kasi nababasa ko sa report. Pag nakita ko yung report, ay nakikita ko yung pangalan nila, pero hindi ko sila kilala in person. Personally, hindi ko sila kilala. And I have no connections with them whatsoever.
You've never met them?
I have never met any one of them. Hindi ko kasi, as a matter of policy, I do not talk or socialize with contractors. Kapag meron akong concern sa proyekto, katulad nga nung nakita ko nasira, ang highways na kinakausap ko lang, ang highways na sinusulatan ko because they are the implementing agency. Silang concern dyan. So, hindi ko sila kilala.
Okay.
Except yung isang nabanggit dyan, yung isang nabanggit yun.
Sino,
medyo
sir?
may familiarity ako kasi lagi ko nababasa yun. Yung sa SunWest, based on what I heard, kasi yun ang maraming project.
What do you know about
Nakikita
SunWest?
ko lang sa news yun. Oo. Well, hindi ko alam kung sino mga may-ari, pero narinig ko na yun na isa sa mga may maraming proyekto sa aking distrito. Kaya yun ang parang familiar in the sense na marami siyang proyekto sa akin. But I
You
don't
don't know
know
who
the
the
members of
owner
board of
is,
directors.
Kong?
Hindi ko alam, although may mga pangalan siguro na babanggit, but
How can you
don't
say
know
that,
kung
Kong? It's
sino
all over
ang
the news. SunWest is
president.
being linked to your colleague, Congressman Zaldico.
Iyon din na nabasa ko nga. But I have no evidence kasi ang nakita ko, ang presidente iba. No? I am not saying na siya nga, I cannot confirm that. For lack of personal knowledge, maybe I can get the...
Hindi kayo
I can
nag-uusap
check
sa
the
Kongreso?
name of the hindi ko siya nakakausap sa Kongreso. Hindi ko siya nakakausap.
Okay, but he has a lot of, if it is, this contractor that's allegedly linked, he co-founded it, right? Has a lot of projects in your district, pero hindi nyo na pag-uusapan yun?
Hindi ko nga pinag-usapan because as I told you, I do not deal with contractors. Pag mayroong problema, may concern, I course it sa highways kung mayroong report na ganito. Yun, ang reklamo ay doon ko sinasabi sa DPWH.
Okay. How many projects does SunWest have in your district? Do you know?
Well, hindi ko hawak yung report ngayon, hindi ko hawak yung kung ilang bilang ngayon, narinig ko lang, marami, pero hindi ko hawak yung report ngayon at saka yung exact figures, Pero marami, alam ko marami siya. na
Marami,
proyekto.
we're talking billions, hundreds of millions.
I cannot confirm right now, pero merong maaari kasi may mga projects na 250 million, o 150 million, so pag inat mo yan, malaki nga yan. Pero yung exact figure, wala sa table ko ngayon, nasa ibang file ko yun siguro,
Sige.
hindi ko hawak ang file ngayon.
Okay, I'll come back to you on that. But moving on, si Senator Ping also opened his privilege speech today by breaking down essentially the anatomy of corruption. Okay, so he says, ito yung, this is where the money goes for the projects, for the flood control projects. 8 to 10% to the district engineer, 2 to 3% Reseta, which is kickback pa rin, 5 to 6% to the Bids and Awards Committee, up to 1% for commission and audit, 5 to 6%, which is known as passing through or royalty, which is what goes to the politician that controls the district where the project will be, and then 20 to 25% to the funder or the project proponent, which is the politician who found the budget for it. Can you categorically tell me today that you've never received any kickback for any of these flood control projects based on this?
Yes. Yes, I can say that categorically yung nakita ko dyan sa isang parang news na politician slash proponent, sabi ko hindi naman tayo nag-propose niyan. Kasi tumating na yan, nasa NEP na yan, naka-imprenta na yan sa NEP. So hindi po tayo yung proponent dyan na tinutukoy.
So, Kong, pag ang sinasabi nyo, if merong corruption na nangyari dito sa mga projects na ito, lahat ito ay nakasentro sa DPWH.
I am not accusing anybody, pero dapat doon sumentro ang investigasyon kasi silang gumawa ng plano. Sila naglagay ng project na yan sa NEP, silang gumawa ng plano. Maybe sila dapat na tanungin. No? Doon siguro ang sumentro ang focus ng investigation. Ang tingin ko naman yung nga mangyayari.
I don't think that's
Yes,
right because the money comes from somewhere. And as I said, Congress has the power of the purse. And for instance, wala kayong say in terms of procurement, in terms of issuing
Definitely wala yan.
permits?
Oo. Wala yan kasi nasa batas yan. Wala kaming power to bid. Yan ay basic yan. Nasa batas po yan. It's in the law na walang implementing power ang Kongreso. Hindi po tayo nag-a-announce ng bidding. Hindi po ang Kongreso ang nag-procure. Hindi po Kongreso ang gumagawa ng program of works at nagbibigay ng notice of award. At hindi rin ang Kongreso ang nagbabayad sa mga kontraktor. Ang aming patil nga lang, aproban yung General Appropriations Bill na nakalista na ron ang mga priority projects ng national government.
Kong, may mga lumabas na
Yung po
mga
reality ron.
Kong, may mga lumabas na mga balita na originally nilabas ng Rappler na may mga politiko na yung mga contractors ay nag-contribute sa kanilang election campaign. Dito sa mga contractors dito sa distrito nyo na apparently involved dito sa mga flood control projects, you can also say categorically na none of them contributed to your campaign?
None of them contributed kasi wala naman akong kalaban. Noong eleksyon, kaya hindi ako gumastos. At walang nagbigay sa akin. Oo. Kaya I can say categorically, kaya nga hindi natin nakakausap ang mga yan, hindi ko sila hinahanap. Siguro nga dapat hinanap ko para sila kulitin at sabihin kong ayusin yung proyekto. Yung siguro ang ating fault doon. Pinagkatiwala natin sa kanila, pinapayaan natin sila. So, walang nagbigay ng contribution sa akin for the simple reason na ako naman ay walang kalaban. Kaya hindi ako, at kung meron ng kalaban, hindi po tayo nanghihingi ng mga ganyang kontribusyon. Tayo po kung mangampanya, kilala ko sa Mindoro, hindi po ako magastos mangampanya.
Okay. We'll check that against your SOSE. But Kong, last question. What would you like to say to Senator Ping? Again, you were one of the few, if not the only congressman named today in his privileged speech. And again, the implication there is that there were some flood control projects in your district that you were the funder or the project proponent for.
That is something that I categorically deny. I already explained, sinabi ko na nga, ang proseso na lahat ng mga proposals na proyekto ng national, particularly flood control projects, ay naka-imprenta na sa NEP yung binibigay sa amin. Nakalagay na yan, naka-imprenta na, at hindi namin pwedeng baguhin pa yan.
Sir,
naka-imprenta na yan.
that's not correct,
Silang
sir.
gumawa niyan.
Nababago pa po ng Congress yung line items. I have to disagree there. Yes, the NEP is the starting point, but Congress does have the power to change the line items.
Yes, pero mga flood control na yan, hindi namin, ako sa experience ko, wala itong pinabago dyan. Kasi nga nandun na yan kasi kung babagoy mo, para sa mo dadalhin, sa mo ililipat na lugar, nandun na yan di mo pwedeng alsin na. Kasi nandun na nga sabi lang, kailangan nyo rin naman yan. We welcome yung mga proyektong yan. Pero kasi kailangan talaga ng aming probinsya. If you will only interview mga kababayan namin, talaga sasabihin na kailangan nila yung flood control, especially yung farmers. Kasi ang binabaha ay yung mga agricultural areas namin. And we welcome that. We welcome that. Kaya lamang, hindi man namin akalain na magiging substandard pala ang pagkakagawa. Kaya nga sabi ko, dapat imbestigahan yan.
Okay. We'll leave that there for now. Thank you so much for joining us at such short notice today, Congressman Arnan Panarigan, 1st District, Oriental
Yes, yes.
Mindoro. Thank you, sir. We'll circle back to you as this Senate hearing progresses.
Salamat, Kong.
Yes. So anytime, I'm here to explain. Wala tayong tinatago dyan. Kilala naman tayo sa Oriental Mindoro. Willing tayo magpaliwanag dyan.
Okay. And also, unfortunately, that is all the time we have for StoryCon today. Thank you so much for joining all of us in this extended version. Ronald Llamas, a resident political pundit. Hindi masyado nag-heckle today. Good job. Join us again tomorrow, 4 p.m. for StoryCon. I'm Regina Lay. We are One News, all sides, all the time.